good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to our today's webinar. My name is Stefan Bauer and I'm Product Manager at CA Experts, and I will give you today an overview about what is new in 6.3 for the next 20 to 30 minutes. So please feel free to ask your questions via the chat window, and I will try to answer them at the end of my presentation or at least in an email within the next days. So let's have a look at our today's agenda. We have something to say about UPV Web Services and UPV Browser. There are some important LaserscanAdapter enhancements to report. We have some IntelliPit sketching new functions and as well 3D sketching improvements. There are some UPV-Viewer enhancements. There is a topic I would like to show you in the builder. And last but not least, I would like to show you our new online help. Coming to the first slide, UPV Web Services. The UPV Web Services are definitely one of the biggest and most important developments of the last year at CA Experts. And this new Web Services setup bundles now 3 components in one setup. It's the UPV browser, the browser-based viewing, and the workflow system, which can be connected to the browser-based viewing. And these 3 components makes it possible to run UPV not only on the well-known platforms like a Windows PC, like iOS or Android, but also now on a usual browser. So this enables a wide range of possibilities, and therefore we are able to meet now all the requirements of our industry in terms of availability of model and data. And with this new bundled components, or this new setup, allows now a much faster setup of the entire system and give the companies or the projects the possibility to organize their models just over one central hub over the internet. And that without any local setup on a device. That really means, so this is zero footprint. The UPV Web Services also contain a new browser, the new UPV browser, and the new UPV browser is the successor of the old so-called folder browser. This new UPV browser offers now a secure data storage, the possibility for Windows authentication, and also a 2-factor authentication. So this meets now the actual standard of all products what you have here in the internet when you want to have a secure connection. The UPV browser is straightforward to configure, and it can be easily adapted to new project requirements and provides a clear access to the project for the users. Okay. Definitely another success story here for the development or of the development at CA Experts in the last months is definitely also the LaserscanAdapter. You know, including large amount of LaserScan data and displaying them smoothly in the viewer is definitely one of the strengths of UPV. And the LaserscanAdapter anyway reduces the LaserScan data to round about 1% of their original size. And on top of that, we have now implemented new mesh algorithms that provide a better appearance of the mesh, and there are colors which are applied to the mesh. And with the new mesh algorithms, also an intelligent reduction of the mesh size comes along. So this, from our point of view, these are significant improvements what we have done in the new version of the LaserscanAdapter. What other improvements we have made here? We have now the possibility to integrate laser scan or point cloud data from any vendor in E57 format. We can read and process now handheld mobile scanners, unified point clouds, drone scans, and as well true views and JPEG panoramas, for example, from LFM. And last but not least, you can see that here on the left bottom corner. So we have textured meshes where the individual triangles of the mesh can have really color gradients now. And it's a good example down here what this means when one triangle can have more than one color. So all in all, the new version of the LaserscanAdapter provides a really significant improvement for the laser scan capabilities inside of the UPV viewer. Recently, there was a webinar which maybe you have seen, and you are warmly invited to use this tool when you have laser scans to process. What are the next improvements here for IntelliPit? We have integrated in general three new functions. The first one is hiding and unhiding objects. The second one is sketch item listing, similar to what we have in 3D. And on the PNID, now we can have colored legends. I will show you that in my live demonstration. Also, we have some 3D sketching improvements. The first one, user-definable steel section tables. So this is a requirement since a longer time that we provide not only our more or less hard-coded limited steel sections, but now we provide this in a more configurable or modifiable way. So it's just an Excel list that is loaded in the background with the dimensions, and the users of a project or the admin for a project can decide what steel sections table are now provided in a model. We also have improved our OBJ import workflow. We streamlined this, so this is now more obvious. And also we have activated the measuring on the imported objects in a better way. So you're now able to place measurements on the imported objects. And last but not least, we have integrated in the model tree nested folders up to 6.2. We only had the possibility to have a nested depth of once, so just one folder. And now we have an unlimited folder structure available, so you can organize your model tree in a better way now. There are also some viewer enhancements. What I can show you, it's about the orthographic camera mode. So this is it's not a permanent mode, but this is something you can switch into a orthographic camera mode. This is also a requirement since a longer time, and we have implemented this in this version. Also, there is extended selection enhancement in the model or in the attributes tree or in the model tree. So up to 6.2, we only have the possibility to select either graphically in the graphics for sure, but in the model tree, it only was possible to select single elements by keeping the control button pressed and clicking on the single elements. Now we have extended that with the shift key, so it's working like a list. You click on the first element, on the last element you want to select, and in between you have everything is selected automatically. Okay, and there is also something to say about the UPV-Builder. We have integrated a new function to include all drawings. So that means for the layout drawings and for the isometric drawings, you can decide now if you want to include all drawings from this UPVD file. Include all drawings means the standard mechanism or the default mechanism up to now was that only the linked drawings, isometric drawings, layout drawings are integrated into the model. And now you have the option to integrate all or only to use the old behavior, just the linked drawings. And along with that, we have significantly improved the performance for the processing of the drawings. So that maybe does not sound very exciting, but when you come to think about, you have to process 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 drawings, isometric drawings. So it really makes a difference if that needs 1 second or just a tenth of it, okay, or even less. So this is a performance improvement. And last but not least, we moved our help to an online help. So it's organized on a website now, and the manuals as a PDF file are not available anymore from here, but it's now an online help. I will show you that how that is working. Okay. At first, I would like to show you here something in the new folder browser, or just show you the new folder browser or UPV browser. That's the correct new name. I have accessed here our demo website. Okay, it's demo.universalplantviewer.com. So this is public access. Everyone can go to here and use this like I'm doing here. I'm logged in as a public user, so no authentication is required. And you can see here our models that we provide for demo purposes. In here, you can change between a grid view and a tile view, like the usual websites can do. You have preview images. You can search with tags, for example, in here. And when you want to open a model, you can directly open the model by clicking on the image, or you go to here and say how you want to open it. You want to open it in a browser, you want to open it locally, or you want to download and open this in your local UPV installation. Okay, so that's the way how it works. And when I say I want to open it in a browser, so the model, our demo model, is loaded in between 2 seconds, quite quick, together with the laser scan, because it's already preloaded on our rendering server, and this is the reason why you can open up this model so quickly. Okay, so this is about the new UPV browser. I'm sure you will hear and see much more about this in the future. Okay, let me switch to my local installation, and coming to the other functions, I would like to show you here a little bit. What I'm doing here is I open up IntelliPit, and in the IntelliPit I select something. Okay, and in the IntelliPit, I create a new sketch in here, and you see here the new 3 buttons. Okay, so I have selected something, and yeah, I select something, so I can hide these elements. With the second button, I can show these elements, but in a gray mode. Okay, so they are still in a mode that they are hidden. It's a toggle. I can show my hidden elements and hide them again. And with the last button, I can unhide my elements, and I'm back to to my normal elements without being hidden. Okay. I think it's quite easy to understand and straightforward to use. For the second functionality, I would like to show you. I place a new line. I place some elements on it, and switch to the new button, to this third button for the sketching item. So this is what you already know probably from the 3D sketching mode. We have this sketch item list since a longer time, and when I click on that, you see how this is working. When I use the control button, I can select my elements, or by double clicking, so I'm fitted to the elements. And when I select, for example, all my elements and use this, okay, so I can now locate with this list my elements on a PNID. Okay, also I think quite straightforward and quite easy to use. As a next point, I would like to show you colored legends. For that, I load a display style which colors my pipelines, and I activate my option for placing a legend along with this display style. Okay, when I open up this, you see the default location of my legend is over there, and also my, let's say, default font size is predefined. Okay, and let's assume you want to have always this legend placed in the left bottom corner. You can activate this button, and now for all future legends, this is the place where the legend is placed on a PNID by activating this button. And also, let's assume you want to change the font size. So we have a new entry in the settings here. I change it to somewhere to 10, and I want to use my also that my text is being colored. Okay, and now I go back and load my style again, my display style again with the same functionality. And now I want to open up my other related PNIDs, and you see now I have my legend at the same location, but now with the text in the color and with the new position. And this applies to all the PNIDs that are opened up in here. Okay, so this is the colored legend functionality. Switching back to 3D, I also place here as a new sketch for showing some sketching functionalities. In here, as I mentioned in my slides, we can now place some steel structure items, and here is a profile list And in this profile list, I can select my new section types. And you see automatically this is changing in here by selecting a new profile. Okay. And in the background, I show you the profiles .xls list. So this is just the Excel list where the dimensions for the steel items are organized in here, and this is just a list in your Excel list in your model, and that these make up these new profile sections. Okay. As a next topic, I would like to show you here the improved OBJ import. So when I load an OBJ file from my system, now the difference is I have to select first a point where I want to place my imported OBJ file. Okay, you see, and now this imported OBJ file has absolutely the same behavior like any other object I have placed here out of the objects task. So that means when we look at the position, so this is the position. When we move the element, you see the position in X direction is moving, and this is absolutely the same behavior like those elements. Okay, and as I have shown you, or shown you on my Excel, on my PowerPoint, now these OBJ files, we have activated the intelligent points so that you can measure now directly on these imported OBJ files, which was not possible before. Okay. Last but not least, here in this files tree, okay, these are my folder structures. So you see how this is working now. You can organize these folders here now and organize your elements in here. Okay, so this is now a little bit better for organizing a project if you have a wider folder nested depths. Okay. Switching to 3D, back out of the sketching mode. Here is a new toggle for the orthographic camera. When I activate this, you see the system automatically changes the background to black, just as a indicator that this is now the orthographic mode. You can use your view cube for changing the direction. Okay, so then it looks like in your CAD system. But when I use my my mouse for changing the view direction, then it automatically turns back into the perspective mode. So this is not a permanent mode, it's just a temporary mode to check if something is or where you need the orthogonal mode. Okay. And another thing I would like to show you here is the enhanced selection with the in the tree view. So when I change from the breadcrumb hierarchy on the top here to my tree view hierarchy or the tree view in here, you see how it worked up to 6.2. So I'm keeping now my control button pressed, and if I want to select something here in a longer list, it's very cumbersome to do that. We now have changed this or extended this. Now I'm keeping my Shift button pressed. This is the first one in the list, and this is the last one, and automatically in between everything is selected. Okay, and you see, so these are the element I have selected in here. Okay, and this functionality, I think this is quite good, especially for PDMS users. Because in PDMS the pipelines are organized, or the components on a pipeline are organized in a topological way, and with this functionality you can quite good make use of it if you select your elements, and you see what elements are next to another element on a pipeline. Okay, so but this is something that PDMS users like very much, and has asked for this functionality in here. Okay, so as a last topic, I would like to show you the new online help. You see, this is the question mark. When I press the question mark, everything turns to blue as before. And when I now press on one of those buttons, I automatically, my default browser is opened up, and the website is loaded. Okay, accept everything. And here I'm here in this topic. Okay, so here we have organized the documentation for each and every product, for the Universal Plant Viewer, and for the components, for or for the adapters, for everything. And as I said, here in the builder, for example, here the manual, when you press F1, then automatically the system opens up the documentation, in this case for the Universal Plant Viewer builder.